Good morning, everyone. Great to have you here on the last day of the conference. That's the day that everyone is already going home, at least someone's, but luckily not everyone. Welcome. We will going to talk, to discuss water security, and of course within the WOP framework. It's GWOPA conference. I'll start with the introduction of myself. Kees van der Lucht. I'm from World Water Net. And we have WOPs here in Jordan, in Palestine, worldwide 10 WOPs, in 10 countries, 17 WOP cooperations. And I'll be your moderator. And I would have been standing here with Claudia Wendland from Hamburg Wasser. She is the architect of this section, but unfortunately she went ill yesterday. So she can't be here. So, well, we have to do it together now. Karen, please.
Thank you, Kees, and warm welcome to every one of you. My name is Karam Kudari. I look a bit different in my picture, so it's okay. I got younger at least. So I am happy to welcome you all and thank you very much for attending. I'm also working for Hamburg Water for the international cooperation. So without further ado, I will hand over to my colleague Kees.
Yes, and well, we will discuss two topics. And that's in the first place about WOPs. WOPs and innovation, WOPs and research. We will find out what best practices are and how to move forward together. And it is focusing on Jordan and Palestine because, we are Hamburg Wasser Miahuna is a cooperation, and as World Water Net, we are working together in the West Bank with, in the first place, the Palestinian Water Authority, but also with Salfit, North Hebron, and other service providers in the West Bank. So those cooperations will be a focal point for this session. And the other topic that we will touch on is regional cooperation, so cross-border cooperation. And for that topic, I would like to share that I was born in the Netherlands, downstream the River Rhine. We've all seen, hopefully, the River Rhine. Being here at the conference, we are walking from the hotel 40 minutes every day to the conference along the River Rhine. You see the strong flow. And when I was young, I was sailing, swimming, surfing, playing with the mud of the River Rhine. Years later, I understood that when I was doing that, it was a really polluted, dead river. No fish anymore, but I didn't care. I was a kid, so I enjoyed the water. And now, it's much better. It's really, the water quality has improved a lot. The mud isn't that polluted anymore. And why? Well, it's because of regulations, but it was also because of the cooperation between all the countries along the River Rhine. And that's still the case, and without a cooperation like that, you can't do real water management on the right level. So that's a good reason to also discuss this. And we will now start with the first speaker. And well, please introduce them.
Thank you, Kees. Bedankt. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah. So please allow me to introduce my two colleagues and friends who is joining us today to present to you a bit about their work, to explain a bit about their daily life, day-to-day business. Please welcome Mr. Amer Haroun to the stage. Amer is a chemical engineer working for Miahuna, so this is the water company of Jordan, located in the capital, in Amman. He's working there for almost 20 years, and he's the lab manager responsible to oversee all lab activities within Miahuna. Thank you very much. second colleague is Mr. Daniel Mutz from Hansewasser, Bremen. Hansewasser is also the wastewater utility of the city of Bremen in the northern of Germany. Mr. Mutz has been working for almost 2 years now within Hansewasser. He's responsible for the innovation and the international cooperation. Thank you. I will. You need the mic, or do you use it? Okay, as you wish.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our session. Today we are going to a journey with our achievements in our WOP with Hamburg Vaza, and also with and my colleague with representing the WOP for the wastewater for the Hansa Vaza. For our information, we are began with collaboration with Hamburg Vaza and Hansa Vaza since 2021. This is our phase 1 for collaboration. The collaboration will be started in January 2021 for the phase 1. It's ended in 2024. And for the result of the WOP phase 1, and the effectiveness of the WOP phase 1, we continuing with WOP phase 2 with different issues, and we will see it. The phase in 2024 was a part of strong water utilities with the GIZ Jordan, and the utility platform with the GIZ Berlin. Let's take you talking about the phase 1. Phase 1 consists of 3 main components. One was the improved of the process in the drinking water quality and drinking water production. The second one was improved the operation and maintenance of the wastewater treatment. And the last one was to improve the water quality management in Miyahon, Jordan. Next slide. So after we end of the WOP phase 1, we discussed more what is the main issue that we want and how we want to calibrate in the 2 next years. So we have 4 components. The first one was the wastewater and sludge management, and also my dream, the lab twinning, and also the sewer system. And we have a topic that we call it general utility topic, which is have a lot of subjects to do and to improve. What we have done in the phase 1 was magnificent. We have a lot of activities, a lot of issues, a lot of achievements. So we have a joint discussion, joint experiment, different mission in Hamburg, mission in Bremen, mission in Jordan. So we decide how to plan our component to achieve the main result. So first of all, we have a trust in our partner, have a relationship with them, giving them all of our information, and they are happy to give us all of their experience and how to do this, and also aiming for one goal. So the main step that how to optimize the dosing of chemical, because if you know how to optimize the dosing of chemical, you will have a revenue, always. Because of that, we have a revenue for all about 30,000 per year of chemicals. And also it's a cost saving. You know Jordan, you know Amman, Miyahon is responsible to provide water and wastewater services for about 6.5 million people. and the scarcity of water in Jordan. So it's an impact for us, and it's a stressful job to provide a safe water for all the people and a safe reclaimed water to the environment. So I'm going now to the phase 2. One of the components was the rapid twinning. Yesterday, I have talked about this. This was my dream in 2017. And as a result of our discussions, in 2000, from 21 in phase 1, we achieved that. We want to have a rapid twinning because there's a lot of impact, because you know, in Jordan when you are abstract a lot of water from the boreholes or from the rivers, you will the quality to be deteriorated. That's a result that we want to improve our quality analysis, to have more, to improve our technologies, our methodologies, our work. So a lot of areas for collaboration was for the chemical macrobiological analysis. We have the industrial wastewater discharges, also for the quality assurance system, because we have an accreditation ISO 17005. Also for the lab safety, was new for us for the lab, and we want to improve. And also for the laboratory information management system. So from the end of 2000, from October 2024, we achieve a lot of things. We achieved that. We have a problem with our ICB. We shipped a new spare parts. Special thanks for our partner in Hamburg. We had a new test in our lab. It's enterococci. It's a type of bacteria for the contamination control of the water network. Also, we have ranked the industrial discharges regarding the industry, which will help us to improve our quality control, to control their discharges and not to harm the sewer system. Because we are thinking about to, as we see in Hamburg, we want to have an auto sampler, to have a composite sample to see which of the factories are harming the sewer more. And also we have implemented the new checklist, which was in Hamburg. This was very, very good and very, very, very useful for our work. And also we have a new checklist for the safety. So we are changing the methods. We are changing the methodology. We are changing the attitude. We are gaining a lot of experience. We are exchanging from our partner a lot of things that it will improve our work. It will reflecting on our controlling for the water, for the drinking water exactly. And now I will let speech to my colleague, Daniel, please.
Thank you very much, Amr. And now I'm going to talk to you about the wastewater treatment part of this WOP. And just to highlight some few of our work streams we made together with Miyahuna. We have here in phase 1, we focused on the energy analysis of the wastewater treatment plant in Madaba, because we noticed that there's a high energy consumption, and in Germany we have a set of rules where we have a process scheme how to do an energy analysis with defined steps. And so we applicated it also to the wastewater treatment plant in Madaba. And what was the most important things about it? The most important things is the data collection and also the process understanding on site. So it was a lot of talking. It's what these WOPs make it worth to work with, is the chat to each other and to understand how the plant is working and where do you have here in this case the energy meters, and how to also get these key performance parameters to have also this comparison between what is an optimized process and what is the state of the art or the status quo of this wastewater treatment plant. So it was, as you can see here also in the pictures, our colleagues were going deeply into every process step and also to the energy rooms and also the process schemes just to fully understand what is happening on the wastewater treatment plant. And what was the result? The result was the identification of the energy savings you can do, and with immediate actions and also with actions where you have to also do some planning, tendering, and also to invest something. So there's different steps how to optimize. So it's like immediate operation steps you can do on site, or then also these measures that you have to also put a tender on. And this led also this whole work. It's not only the results, but also the work together on site, and also the job shadowing also in Germany led to a very trustful and open discussion, so that we also noticed we have a new areas of work. And with our second phase, we noticed that it's not only the energy analysis on the wastewater treatment line, it's also the sludge treatment line we have also to focus on. And now it's not Madaba, but there are also different other wastewater treatment plants we are now working at since October. And just to do it vice versa, in Salt there's built up a large investment of digesters, and they have no experience of operating in the digesters. And as far as we at Hansewasser, we have our digesters now since 40 years, so we have experience in how to work with what is with explosion safety and so on. So now we came, when the starting phase is now over, we are coming into this with a WOP into this phase and working together with the people in the wastewater treatment plant in Salz, how to optimize and how to deal with this digesters. And then you have also, which is also connected to it, Ain al-Basha has primary sludge, which you have also to optimize, because this sludge is also going to the digesters to get more energy production of this digesters. So these are only a few highlights we are now working also on, and yeah, it's a very successful WOP, and with a very good partnerships together with Hamburg Wasser, with Hansewasser, and not at least with Mia Huna, who's making it worth to work together. We also published, this was also on Monday in the last session, also mentioned a paper about our WOP, and as Amar said yesterday, our jewel of our work, the International German Sustainability Award we won in 2024. It's kind of a nice prize to see that it is also recognized our work within the WOP. And this is not possible without all the colleagues. So this is our last slides, that we have to thank everyone who's working at this WOP. It's not only the two of us who is now presenting and standing in front, or Karam, who's also here, and Claudia, who's the architect, as you said, Kees, also from this WOP. But it's the people who are standing behind it and also working together in a trustful partnership. And thank you.
And please, I have a final request. This is our heroes. We are honored to present their work and our work, but I need from you a request to clap for him. Yeah, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Amir. Thank you, Daniel, for these nice and insightful ideas that you gave us about your work, about the work of the teams that were actually implementing these jointly came up measures. And now it would be my pleasure to invite my next guest and colleague, Mrs. Dalia Sabri. She is the founder and chairwoman of MIA Arab International Water, and I will leave the stage to her for maybe a quick and short introduction. Dalia, you have 10 minutes.
I think it's still good morning, so it's good morning, everyone. Thank you, Guba, for hosting us, hosting our session. Very delighted to be here with you. So can we have the presentation, please? I'm just my presentation is not it's not a WOP. I'm not representing a WOP, but I'm just representing and reflecting on how the innovation and applied research are transforming the way we manage water nowadays, and how it's redefining the role of utilities and operators in achieving sustainability and resilient water sources. So how does this work? Yeah. So as we know that nowadays traditional water systems are not enough to face to help us and adapt to the complexity we face. We have the urban expansion, the population growth, the climate change. All these challenges are straining the water resources we have. So innovation that has been nowadays the new technologies and new innovative ideas allows utilities and operators to become more smart and data-driven and more adaptive to these challenges, to turn it into new opportunities for long-term water resilience. Actually, the applied research I'm promoting for research, being a professor of water engineering, so I am always biased to research. I think research connects theory to action, which ensure that the ideas of the research are translated into tangible solutions for cities, communities, and people we serve. So in every presentation about water, you hear about the water crisis. You see these numbers but repeating it is not only to annoy. It's not to annoy you or disturb you. Just to emphasize that we have a water crisis, and we are in a big. We have a big issue that we need to discuss and find a solution. So nowadays, almost 2.2 billion people are still lacking access to safe drinking water. According to the UN reports, this water demand are projected to rise 55% by 2050. So the problem is not. It's already escalating. So the utilities and local authorities are at the front line for this crisis, as we know that most of the utilities, for example, in developing countries, are operating with limited resources, with aging infrastructure, and increasing demand, which limit their ability to deliver the service in a proper way. So to strengthen this, we need to innovate, promote for innovation, and of course have regional cooperation. And it's not an option, but it's essential strategies that we need to adopt nowadays. So this is the latest map for 2050, released from the UN. And as you see, the MENA region, all of it almost are in extremely high water stress, by 2050. It's not new, but it's emphasizing the fact that we already know. So this is just to show you the water stress level in 2050. So water security concept, and I'll just go through this very quick for the sake of time. The water security rests on 4 main pillars, which are providing the water quality, good quality, quantity, resilient, and accessible. So this means the utilities should provide continuous, safe water even under stress. This is the main job for the utilities. New tools like AI, for example, and smart metering, real-time monitoring, they help the operators and utilities to forecast demand, to optimize distribution networks, and shift utilities from being reactive providers to being proactive resource managers. So instead of waiting for the crisis to happen and manage the crisis, no, we manage the water resources in a way that we prevent the crisis to happen. So this will be by the aid of the innovative ideas like AI and Internet of Things. So I'll just show you some examples of the Internet of Things we've done. Like I'm sure that you already have seen this smart city components. How to have the concept of smart city, to have a smart agriculture, renewable energy, green renewable energy, smart water management, smart transportation. I'm sure that you already know the concept of these smart cities. And these are based on the innovative and sustainability concept to have these smart cities. So it seems that, as I said, traditional planning models are failing. So we don't have a good connection between all the components of these cities. Like we have lack of wastewater treatment collection, poor solid wastewater. So in order to have a smart city and implement this idea, we need to connect all this together, and this will be done by the innovative Internet of Things and AI. It's also just the components of the smart city. This is how the water management is done by the Internet of Things. We have the sensors. I cannot see this one. We have the sensors to monitor the water supply, real-time monitoring, and then with the AI help, it optimizes, predict usage of water. Also, the sensors can predict if there is any leakage in the network to try to help to fix this leakage whenever it happens. Also, the Internet of Things have reduced annual maintenance plan. For example, they applied this in Abu Dhabi, and it was very successful that they installed the apps on everyone. Every household has installed an app to show them what is the water usage and how they can reduce their usage for showers and toilets and so on. So with continuous control, you can reduce the usage of water you have. Also, Internet of Things, we can use water quality monitoring. Nowadays, we have many sensors installed in the water treatment plants to monitor the water quality, like the pH level, TSS, BOD, COD, and so on. And this provides real-time data that if anything happens, we can directly interfere and fix it so we don't lose time or resources and or failure in the system. Water meter monitoring analysis. I'm sure some of you know about this, but try to give an overview of the what we can do with the help of Internet of Things and AI in utilities and operators can fix this. Is also for tanks and groundwater extraction. For pumps and elevation. For non-revenue water, as I said, that it's very efficient to use the sensors and to detect any leakage in the system, so we don't lose a lot of resources, and we provide the service continuously, the service to people, and instead of just waiting to see the old way that people used to do it and wait for to see where the leakage is. Nowadays, with the sensors, it's very efficient to find where the leakage are, and we can fix it very fast. But Internet of Things and innovation doesn't come, it comes at a cost. There are a lot of challenges, like technological collaboration, big data, that we need to have this data, the privacy and security. Some people already they hack the system, so they can control the water quality, and it happened in a couple of areas. They have cyber attacks for the Internet of Things, and they control the water treatment plants. It happens in some regions. And of course, the real-time analysis, it takes a lot of time and resources. So, as you know, that we recently heard about the concept of circular water economy, and the buzzword that wastewater is it's not a waste, it's a resource. But unfortunately, 80% of wastewater still until now discharged untreated in many countries, and it is wasted in the sea or in the water bodies. So with this innovative technology like membranes, bioreactors, anaerobic digestion, decentralized plants, we can convert this water into a resource. It's not a waste, like generating biofuels and electricity. And in Egypt, we have one of these treatment plants that we generate biofuel and electricity from wastewater. And also the fertilizers, we use it as, the sludge, after drying the sludge, we use it as a fertilizer. And if you don't use it, you don't need to use it, you just dump it in the landfill, so it doesn't harm the environment. Okay. I'll just wanna emphasize one of the key points I wanted to say today, that we should have interdisciplinary collaboration to build innovative ecosystem. We cannot work in silos. We have all to work together. Like, for example, the academia, they provide the research, they provide the capacity building, industry, they deliver technologies, and innovative transfer. Governments, of course, we cannot ignore them, because they produce and establish the enabling policies and funding. Utilities and communities also apply and adapt solutions on the ground. So we need to work all together and to have a strong water utilities and operators systems. Okay, so I will stop now. Maybe I can complete my idea in the panel discussion. Oh, you okay. Okay, so so I will conclude. Just to conclude that, as I said, that for example, what is WOPA doing is a great thing. They allow people to have peer-to-peer discussions, knowledge transfer, capacity buildings, which is most important thing, because sometimes I've seen this in a very rich countries. They have established very expensive treatment plants, and they have like state-of-art technologies, but still people, the operators, they are lacking the experience, lacking the training, the capacity building, so they end up doing it like business as usual. And this all wasted capital ahead. So just to mention that the WOPs are a very good example of increasing people's capabilities, how to manage the utilities in a good way, and we have to work more on human beings, more than people, more than the technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dalia, for your great presentation, and I think also bridging the topics that we are discussing now, as well the water operator partnerships and innovation and applied science. And I think the last point you made about the need not only for technology but also the expertise for operations maintenance and the link to the capacity building. I think that's a wonderful bridge to also the next speaker. That will be Mr. Ziad Fukaha. He is Director General of the Palestinian Water Authority. Well, we have as World Waternet the honor to cooperate already for 5 years within the Waterworks and Blue Deal program as a WOP with PWA in the lead, and one step deeper on the ground with Salfit and North Hebron. And he will elaborate on well, the need for innovation and also new technology within this WOP context. Please, Ziad, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you all. I'm actually very happy being here with you to have a small presentation regarding mainly we are from Palestine, and we'll be talking about the Palestinian experience with this program. Actually, we are talking about decentralized wastewater treatment and reuse with a new technology called Blue Elephant. Actually, before going to before talking about this Blue Elephant, it's very important to start with the wastewater sector in Palestine. The wastewater sector in Palestine is facing very big challenges, actually. These challenges started from political and institutional constraints. We all know that due to controlling from the Israeli occupation for more than 80% of the Palestinian water resources, this is a very big constraint, very big challenge for us to follow up on the ground. We are talking about areas B and C as per the Oslo Agreement. So the area B and C are not controlled by the Palestinians. This issue actually made direct infrastructure deficiencies, so we are not able to work in some of the areas as a Palestinian Water Authority and as Palestinian water and wastewater service providers. Also, once we have infrastructure deficiencies, this will also lead to technical and operational deficiencies, which will lead also to financial challenges. Now, water service providers in Palestine actually are facing a very big financial challenges. Nowadays, the debts of the Palestinian water service provider to the government exceeds $600 million. So they are not even able to pay the government the cost of water and the cost of treatment. This leads also to environmental and public health risks, beside the reuse and resource recovery barriers. At the end, Gaza specific challenge. It needs 2 weeks actually of conference to talk about. Yeah. Okay. The mentioned challenges, actually, I would like to mention one case, which is transboundary wastewater deductions by the Israelis due to that we are not able to build our own wastewater treatment plants. We are not controlling over the areas inside the West Bank and Gaza. So the wastewater flows from West Bank to the borders to the Israelis. So they had their own wastewater treatment plants. They are treating this wastewater, and they are deducting those amounts from our money, from our taxes. So for years from 22 to 24, around $120 million were deducted from our taxes, because Israelis are collecting the taxes in behalf of the Palestinian Authority, on behalf of Palestine, because we are importing from Israeli ports and, so they are collecting the taxes and they are deducting all their money directly from it. Now we can talk about this blue elephant. Blue elephant comes under strategic partnership between Palestinian Water Authority and World Water Net through Blue Deal and Water Works program. This partnership actually started from 2019. It will remain now up to 2030. Actually, we have 2 specific regions we started with this partnership in Salfit and North Hebron areas. Actually, from our side, Palestinian Water Authority and those 2 water service providers, with our partners from Netherlands, Blue Deal, Water Works, works together in different activities. Based on our strategy, we have more than 300 water service providers in Palestine. 300 water service providers that are responsible for following up the water and wastewater services to the end users. And now we have a plan to restructure and to reform the water sector in order to reach, we'll see it in the next slide. So we have different topics for cooperation. We started with institutional capacity building and organizational development, actually including human resources management. We have capacity building on different technical issues like GIS, non-revenue water, and other issues. We have new cost recovery, and we have a tariff by law. So under this partnership, we are following up to update the water tariffs with the water service providers in order to include the full cost recovery. Actually, we have a very good results out of this partnership. We implemented, we started the water sector reform implementation in different areas. And as I mentioned here, we are talking about Salfit and North Hebron. We are improving, or we did a very good job in improving the water laboratories in the Palestinian Water Authority beside the water service providers' laboratories. And we have a development and implementation of decentralized mobile wastewater, which is the blue elephant that we will also talk about right now. We also work on actual water safety planning, GIS, and water cycle management, different activities under the program that we are following up with. Regarding our strategic goal in sector reform in Palestine, nowadays I mentioned we have more than 300 water service providers. When I say water service providers, now in Palestine we are talking about different shapes, different sizes of water service providers, municipalities, village councils, joint service councils, water and wastewater service councils. Most of them are under the local government law. And now our plan is to start the clustering and to reduce the number of water service providers. At phase 1, we are planning to have around 30 plus minus, phase 2 to reach 12 plus minus, and at the end, we are planning to have only 4 water service providers called regional water utilities. 3 in the West Bank plus 1 in Gaza, working under the principles of economies of scale that will reduce the cost of service delivery to the end user, that will actually lead to proper management in the regional water utility, beside increasing the governance of the regional water utilities. So at the end, all those regional water utilities will be working under the water law rather than Ministry of Local Government. The blue elephant in Palestine, why we started with this issue. I mentioned a very big challenges facing our situation, our wastewater sector. So many households are not connected in Palestine to the sewage networks, and this is a very big problem for us. Actually, effluent is discharged in the environment, causing, beside the deductions that I talk, a very big amount of deductions from our taxes, we have pollution, environmental problems. Centralized wastewater treatment plants actually is very costly, and we are looking for cost beneficial solution. Where we start with 1 unit actually installed in Salfit area in 2022, where no sewage networks in the location. They are using actually only septic tanks, and they have to pump it each week. That costs a lot of money to the end users. And we have, actually this causes a high public health risks. We have only extra 2 units installed actually in North Hebron area. Also, those 2 units were installed 2022 and now is working. What are we planning for the next period? Actually, scaling up is very important for us, and now we are thinking how to scale up the issue of blue elephants in Palestine. Quality tests for the treated wastewater. Actually, we are doing those tests, and we have a very good results. We'll see the results in the coming slides. And we need to assure maintenance and operation, beside using of the reusing of the treated wastewater for agriculture. So we would like to see in the future actually a chain of blue elephants there in Palestine, especially in the rural areas. This is the unit that we have. It's a very small unit. Actually, it's smart membrane bioreactor and decentral treatment. The capacity is 5 to 6 cubic meter per day. And supports around 100 to 200 persons. Actually, effluent is suitable for irrigation and drinking. It's a very small footprint. It's only 2 by 2 square meters. Minimal energy consumption. So when we talk about cost, it's actually a very good option. We have here, we did the treatment to ensure the treatment efficiency. actually the effluent have been tested, and we have a list of tests in in different days, different situations, and we are getting very promised. Okay, this is mainly. So sustainability, we are talking about small footprint, solar, where we are reducing CO2, and we are using the wastewater. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ziad. Yeah, well, as you can see, also technical innovations can look nice and smart, the Blue Elephant. We will now move to the panel, and we will build it up slowly. And we'll start with Hind. One second, because it's all about Hind Al Shaddai Fat. I always just say Hind, so sorry. And she's deputy team lead and senior advisor for water and sanitation at GIZ. And being in Amman and Jordan, then it's also meeting Hind for all the updates. Very happy to invite you here. If you can please sit around back table. Then my first question would be for you. After your own introduction, what WOPs? What's the importance of water operator partnerships for GIZ? Maybe in general and maybe specific for Jordan. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure being here. My name is Hind Defat, and I'm Deputy Team Leader for GIZ project in Jordan. I have 20 years of experience in managing water and wastewater in the Arab region with a focus in Jordan. And I would say WAP for GIZ, and I would say for the Jordanian government as well, is kind of the practical part of our work, where we implement what we learn. We all believe that peer learning is the most important, and sharing knowledge, experience is that make the investment that we are doing more visible and more sustainable. With all our projects, when we are talking about technical assistance, like what GIZ is doing in Jordan, and working with the water utilities in a country that is really a water scarce country with less than 70 cubic meter per capita per year, we believe that peer learning is the goal for the future, and it's the way for sustainable partnership, sustainable project that can enhance the water management in any region. For us, our partnership, GIZ is supporting the partnership between Miyahuna, Hamburg Wasser, and Bremen Wasser. In this regard, we evaluated the first phase, where we saw a lot of a huge impact in the management of the water resources at Miyahuna Water Company. In that regard, GIZ also had a second phase of this water operator partnership, where we expand even our activities in that regard. We saw how it was impacting the performance of the utility itself, how it changed the mentality of the operators, how it changed their daily work, how they learned from each other. And I would say it's not always the idea that we are taking, but also we are sharing with Hamburg Wasser and the other utilities. I believe for Hamburg Wasser and Bremen Wasser, it was also a nice experience and a nice project that they learned how to manage water in scarce context, in arid climate regions, and how to manage the water resources when it's very scarce, and how to improve the performance to provide population with water. I think for Germany, it's the other way, that sometimes you are taking care more on the flood management and high water level, high groundwater level. But in Jordan, we gave them the other point of view, or the other side of the story, how to manage water in a very scarce country. So for us, as technical assistance, as capacity building. GIZ believes so much in water operator partnership that also enhance the performance in everywhere and sharing experiences.
Thank you very much, Hind. And well, representing GIZ, that's about funding, but also connecting to the technical solutions and capacity building. As Dalia already mentioned, that there is a water crisis, it has to be solved. It's not only about innovation, it's also about, in the end, about funding and about the utilities. Well, we will move on now and invite the next speaker around the table. That will be, Emra. It's again about the family name. I'm so sorry. Emra Engin Denis, Program Manager at GWOPA. And he also needs a big applause because he's also organizing those whole conference. So that's worth a big applause. So please. Please.
Next time we make sure we reduce the height of this stage.
So, please take a seat, and if you indeed, pick one. Otherwise, maybe beside Hint, yes. Just introduce yourself, and well, I would like to ask you. You have been from GWOPA perspective. You are working and thinking about cross-border cooperation. You are working on a MENA hub platform, so that enables the utilities, the connected organizations to work not only together, but also on regional level, but also on cross-country border level. Could you please explain why GWOPA is working on that and what the current status is of this cooperation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So our work in MENA region, in MENA region means it's Arab region and plus North Africa. So we've been collaborating well with some of our partners, such as World WaterNet. So in the current sort of like stage, we are collaborating. We have this the community of practice, what we call it. And community of practice, basically, if you are expert, you can sign up as a member of GWOPA, as an expert, individual expert, regardless of your affiliation with your organization. So then those experts, they join community of practice. We have around 9 community of practice in various areas, in asset management, climate change, commercial services, etc. So what we are doing actually 3 days here, happening all the time, all year round in that platform. That is in partnership with the Waterworks program. WaterNet is also supporting. So there is expert of Waterworks programs and various other programs. They are facilitating these groups on online platform. And that means, so we are connecting all the global experts to share their expertise, knowledge, how they're working in various issues. So I invite all of you to also join. Unfortunately, the platform at the moment is down, but we are going to relaunch it in a couple of weeks' time. So there we have idea of also establishing Arabic-speaking community of practice, because we recognize a lot of experts may not have a sufficient English level, so they can also interact and communicate through that sort of without a language barrier. So we have launched a process to identify a partner who are interested to support this process. We have a good sort of turnaround. Some partners have expressed interest and to basically voluntarily support and create the content and moderate that content throughout the year. So we're happy to launch this once the platform is up and running again. and we will definitely announce and let everyone know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emra, and it underlines that working together is again about content, but also about culture and language. So thank you very much. Now I would like to invite the speakers also behind the desks, so they are not that alone anymore. And Karim, then you can take over, please.
Thank you. Maybe we can get things a bit lively on the audience side and see if there are any questions from your side. So far. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to react just to the presentation that was made by Madame Dalia. Thank you very much for that presentation on a digital revolution in smart cities and water management. I work for Public Services International, which is the World Global Trade Union Federation that represents workers organized in trade unions worldwide, delivering public services, including water. We've actually looked at, I just want to make a comment, if I may, rather than, which could then prompt a reaction. But we looked a lot about the impact of digital technologies in utility management. And often one of the things we see and hear from the workers on the ground that may actually provide a recommendation then when local governments implement this kind of digital technology water systems is that sometimes, especially when you use private companies to provide these digital services, the local authority loses the control over the data, but also there's issues of resilience and fast reaction to crisis, because when it is an external provider of this kind of technologies, then you have to renegotiate the terms of the contracts, and you cannot react swiftly to, for example, climate-related crisis. Also, workers are often just in a top-down kind of a receiving end of these kind of technologies, whereas they are the ones who have to implement them on the ground and also educate the end user on how to run correctly a smart meter. So the involvement of professionals in water management, the workers, but also their trade unions is absolutely key, so that there's like a two-way dialogue between the authority, between the water management authority and those who have to implement these services, so that the human dimension that you mentioned at the end of the presentation is really important. Thank you.
Good morning. One question for Amer Haroun. I saw your presentation on the lab, and it was very interesting to see how your lab is evolving and developing. And I was thinking if you together with Hamburg Wasser and Bremen Wasser, if you are thinking in applying the polluter pays principle to the industries, or is it, are you working towards that, or are you just making analysis of the wastewater to protect the sewer system? Or is it also to apply the polluter pays principle in the future or currently?
Okay, our project is for the drinking water and wastewater, for the developing a new analysis, and also for our management system. So if we only work on analysis, it will be done, and what to come to back and what to work about. Our methodology is to restrict it with the method, to modify the method, to put a checklist, and to change the attitude for working. Yeah. I'm going to answer or not?
Can I add to the answer?
Yes, please.
As the Water Operator Partnership is part of a larger project of GIZ in Jordan called the Strong Water Utilities, So there are some activities that the Water Operator Partnership is conducting that is feeding to the whole, the overall objective of the Strong Water Utility Project. So what they are doing of this assessment for the industrial impact in the sewer network will be leading to another activity within the project that is monitoring of the industrial discharge into the treatment plants in Jordan. Via this, we are trying to develop kind of modeling, maybe using the Bio1 modeling. We are trying to collaborate with some university where we can use this data produced by the Water Operator Partnership to define kind of modeling response activity or strategy, how to react or improve the performance of the treatment plant when industrial discharge is reaching. In the same regard, we have one activity that will also look into the strategies and policies of industrial discharge and reforming the national laws when discharging industrial untreated wastewater into the sewer connection, and have kind of incentive penalty set up on that regard. So what is being taken in the Water Operator Partnership project, most of it will lead to bigger also activities that implemented by GIZ in Jordan.
Yes, I want to elaborate more. That's one of our items in our lab twinning. We are ranking the factories regarding its discharges and try to, which factory are harm the sewer system. So you cannot decide on one grab sample. So the idea from Hamburg is to bring an auto sampler to set it on some sewer system from discharging of the factory and to decide that. Because we have some problem that in the grab analysis, we don't have any exceeding of the limit, but they are harming the sewer system. So the problem that they are doing it's in different time in the night. So bringing an auto sampler and to put it on a sewer line will detect the problems. Yeah.
Thank you, Amir. And Dr. Dalia, would you like to respond now, or should we leave it to the Q&A session? It's up to you.
No, I just thank you for the comment. It's very important. I just wanted to mention that because this thing is a new thing. It's not common until now. There are a lot of companies nowadays working on producing the architecture for this IoT, like in India and other areas of the world. So I think it's still expensive, and the human being component is a very important one. That's why we are promoting for the improving the capabilities of the people who work in the utilities, improve their technological capabilities to know how they can deal with this, not to depend on the company which provide the system to the utility. So this needs a lot of training, a lot of technical support to learn and to know how to deal with this thing. And as I mentioned, also there are a lot of cyber attacks that happened, and this also can be used as in war. For example, if you can take over like water treatment plant, for example, you can pollute the water, and this will cause a lot of problems to the city. So this is less in 1 second you can destroy the whole resource for a big city, for example. So it's an important thing to have your own expertise, to train your people, not to depend on the outsiders or the providers of the system. Thank you.
Thank you. For the rest of the questions, if you still have one, I would suggest to leave it to the Q&A session. And now I'm going to move directly to our panelists and ask the first question to my dear colleague and friend, Amer. So you already mentioned about the WOP cooperation, the activities that have been done together, demand-driven cooperation. But could you please tell us, how are these activities being translated into your day-to-day business?
Yeah. You know, I have a simple answer. In Miyahana, we adopted the WOP activities into our workload, into our work plan. So there is no difference between our WOP activities and our plan. So each month, each colleague of my colleague know that he have an activity for the WOP, because the WOP for us is as something, a tool to improve, and we are Miyahana like joy in achievement. So it's only adopted in our work.
Thank you very much. Let's move on. Well, there was another question from the room. No? Ziad, you were talking about the blue elephant as a technical solution for the West Bank in the first place. Are there other solutions, well, within the framework or of a WOP or otherwise, that innovations that can be helpful for the water management?
Okay, thank you, Keith. Actually, solutions are always available. The issue is we're always asking about this innovative, non-technological solutions. While technology is there, so why not to use the technology? But I think, yes, sometimes it costs money. Sometimes it's not available on the spot. So it's very important to start thinking about different other solutions. Maybe community-based water management, like through empowering local communities, farmers associations, water users associations, to plan, operate small-scale water and wastewater systems through engagement. Engaging the community to be there is very important. Beside what I mentioned through the decentralized wastewater treatment through the Blue Elephant, actually there should be also something like nature-based solutions that can affect maybe through reviving and adapting solutions like cisterns, terrace, and rainwater harvesting pools for farming and so on. Institutional and governance is very important also, through strengthening of cooperation and coordination between government, regulators, water service providers, end users, in order to feel that the ownership of the service. Actually, engaging also youth, gender, education is very important in this issue. Legal and financial options in order to reach, to set up maybe like laws that supports the financial sustainability of the water service provider, reduction of the cost, like tariffs, and so on. So actually there is a lot of solutions that can be taken into consideration in this issue.
Okay, thank you very much. And well, you are adding new challenges, also about mentioning connecting the community, youth to the solutions and the work, and I think that's important part of the solution. Emma, you've been talking about this cooperation. When, from your perspective, is a cross-boarding cooperation successful? And maybe connected to that, when a WOP is really successful for you, from your perspective?
Yes, thank you very much. I think your question is a little bit maybe in two fronts. Is one, if you look at the collaboration between countries, sort of inter-regional collaboration, I guess Dalia mentioned the water security. In the Middle East, for example, this water security pieces is really a lot related to transboundary cooperation, and not only on the surface water, but it's also underground water, so how the river system works, who pollutes where you get water, who treats, who discharges, is a lot connected, and is very much affects the whole community, whole sort of countries around the water. So it's very critical that everyone actually collaborates and make sure water is properly discharged and safely discharged, so it doesn't pollute someone is down the downstream. So it's really important. So we're trying to see how we can sort of network the countries within the region. How can they actually work together, address some of these critical issues. So when we say how the WOP is successful, we want to come back to a little bit on this domain of the cities, how utilities are actually delivering their day-to-day job, which means, are we getting safe water? Is it drinkable? Is it sort of distributed without any problem? So that's where we bring WOPs in, because this is where the utility plays critical role to make sure they produce water is drinkable, and which processes they go through, and the WOP partner can really help them to optimize those processes. How can they look after their asset, which means pipe, pumps, and taps, how they're going to be maintained and working, that they're not going to actually contaminate and cause any public issue, public health issue. So WOP comes in that process and pass on this knowledge and expertise to make sure that the utility is able to address some of these critical issues that improves overall public safety and also contribute significantly security. I mean, in all this inter-regional cooperation, transboundary water security discussion, utility may not be the key actors in the table to make a decision. It usually sits with the central government, but they are at the end of the day, they are the one who has to know how to treat, how to make sure water is provided, is equitable, is accessible, and is risk-free, and the resources, whereas resource management are done by someone else. Someone else has to really protect the water resources, so that utility can take that water to do. So we say, let's look at where utilities are really active and they need to be active. And when the WOP comes in and they really identify those areas that are domain of utility, and they can work together to see how the processes can be improved. So for me and I think for all of us, we see when utility improve their efficiency, they are addressing a lot of non-revenue issues. They're providing water that is like this drinkable. There is no smell. There is no. It's like safe water. So this is really where the partnership helps to improve this essential water, and then that's when we say we can celebrate together is a successful WOP because water quality has improved.
Thank you very much. Let's say cheers.
Cheers.
And I thank you for underlining the importance. Well, although the utilities in the heart of the WOP, it's about in the end about the water cycle, connecting all the water charges and the water flows, and that's certainly for a cross-border approach, but also connect all the right stakeholders, because it's absolutely not alone. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and then Daniel. Well, we heard Amer earlier talking about the WOP. In his perspective, that it's about a dream, one dream, where you are working on together. What would be your dream for the WOP cooperation with Miahuna, and when is it a success for you?
Yeah. I think I can just emphasize what also Hintz said. It's not only just working together to improve situation or workflows for Miahuna, but also here at Hansewasser Bremen, we have gained also a lot of experiences due to water scarcity. It's not only that it is a foreign region for us, but Dalia showed this map, the world map, and there was also Germany has also a middle risk of water scarcity, and the climate change is coming. And this is actually what we also see in our region, so a bit south of Germany. The farmers, they didn't have to irrigate the fields for the time you can think of. And now the last few years we had a very, very dry seasons of summer, and now they just have to think about irrigation, what can we do, and so we can just also take the experiences from the water scarcity areas. Unluckily they are water scarce, but however, then we can also take it for our part of the world where we are also facing this problem in the next 10, 20, 30 years. So this is also what we also can learn from Minahuna.
Thank you very much for underlining the, let's say, the mutual learning aspect of a water operator partnership. Yeah, and then I would like to go to one specific participant here. That's Pepijn van Loon. Talking about water operator partnerships, it's about talking about flexibility, because things are always changing and others in another way doing than you thought. Well, organizing a session like this is the same. Pepijn has been, thought that he should present something, should be on the panel, and in the end he's just over there. And that's, but while he is working in Palestine on both WOPs from World WaterNet, he is now starting with a new WOP in Jordan with the Water Authority of Jordan, with Minahuna, with Yarmouk. Well, let's give him a big applause for the flexibility. But then for now, because you've been working in WOPs in Palestine and in Jordan, talking about regional cooperation, from your experience, what would be your suggestions or ideas for working together on country level?
Well, first of all, thank you for the mentioning. I like to be flexible in that manner as well, because I'm happy that all these people are on stage, because they are making the work in the Middle East. I had the pleasure to work in this field for a couple of years now, both in Palestine as well as in Jordan. And I can say we're all part of the same family, the same river tributary. We're all part of the Jordan River, being responsible for it, but also being dependent on it. So I can't see another way as not to work together. You have to work together in this region, because, I'm sitting here next to Dima from UN Habitat in Jordan, and we looked at the map that Dalia showed, and I can see that the whole Middle East is facing already a crisis in terms of water, but it will only worsen and worsen. And I'm not even talking about the conflict yet that are present in the region. So I think working together on this is something very vital, and I've seen it happen in real life when Palestinians and Jordanians are working together, sitting in a room. It's like, family almost. Not only in talking to each other, but also culturally. So I think it can only benefit from each other, from learning on these topics. And I'm very happy, and I hope that it only will strengthen in the time. And I'm happy for GWOPA to also facilitate this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then, the best news, we are also almost at the lunch. A few minutes left. And then
maybe we take 1, 2, or 3 questions quickly from the audience, please. If you have, I know, madam, you will come first. Second, any third question? Okay, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for the interesting presentations. I have one question, and it's about the regulation, because I think that two of you were talking about the reuse. And one of the limitations for us in Colombia is the regulations that are so difficult to complain the regulations. So for us, it's like ideal to reuse the wastewater, but it's really difficult to apply it. It's like a dream. So all of us want to do it, but at the end it's really difficult because the regulation is more and more difficult to complain. So I want to know how it is in your countries.
Please.
Yeah, I would say this is the topic I've been working in since the last 10 years, improving the wastewater treatment plant and the reuse application in Jordan. And I would say in Jordan we have very successful rate. We are using around 95% of our treated wastewater in restricted agriculture. Means that we use treated wastewater for agriculture like practices such as production of animal forage, and landscaping in big areas, and in some recently in some industrial we are using the treated wastewater for cooling purposes instead of fresh water. Our aim as in the Jordan government, I would say in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation as well, that we subsidize fresh water in agriculture with the treated wastewater. And in that regard, we are investing a lot of project in making sure that the Jordanian treated wastewater standards is according to the international standards. This is because people will be dealing with this water directly and they will be using it directly. We have very strict guideline in that. We would be happy to support you on this. So we have different guideline for different reuse application. So if we are talking about restricted agriculture, we have a specific guideline. If it's to be split like between the mountains, we have a specific guidelines. If it's being used in landscaping in the cities, we have very specific guidelines in that regard. And we have this, we monitor, the government is monitoring the treatment plants and making sure that the effluent quality is according to the standard before discharging it. So it's in Jordan, I would say it's usually need driven, you know. We don't have enough water to provide agriculture, to maintain a very good economic situation, to provide people with drinking water in like all together. So we have to think of non-conventional ways of providing water, finding water resources. We use treated wastewater. We use gray water systems in school, in big also I would say parks, in mosques. We use a gray water system to irrigate the trees around these areas, or even to sometimes for cleaning. So I think your main driver would be that how much you need to treat, how much you need the treated wastewater, in which aspect, then you can build your standard based on that. And we have very good experience. We would be more than happy to support you with this.
Thank you very much, Hind, and also thank you for being open to also support in other regions, not only in the scarce region that you are looking at. So the second question.
Good evening or good afternoon, bon après-midi. The question to Dalia. During your presentation, you mentioned 3 times that the importance of qualification, and we should, no matter of technology, we have to emphasize on the training the people who are going to work within the wastewater treatment or any technology they are going to use. My second question to Ziad. I would like to ask you, as a non-Palestinian now, is it possible for the strategy of PWA to implement PPE for construction and operation of the wastewater treatment plant within the area of Palestinian side, and especially the area C that you've been mentioned, that it's not easy or possible to construct as most of the area see, it's the adequate places to implement wastewater treatment plant. So my question, is the strategy of PWA to implement public-private partnership to construct and operate these wastewater treatment plant, or it's out of the question?
Who would like to reply first?
Can you just repeat the question exactly? What was the question? Because
Why you are emphasizing three times on that?
well, as I mentioned, that having the state-of-art technology is not enough to produce, to have a successful system for including the Internet of Things and AI and these new AI-based technologies. So the capacity raising, the awareness and capacity building of people who work as operators in the utilities, it's very important that they are aware of what what is going on. It's not just purchasing a very expensive system and implement it, and then you leave people clueless what to do with the system. So training them, raising their awareness capabilities is very important to have a successful system. This will close the loop for you to have a successful system. I don't know if you answered this or not.
Okay, Akram, thank you for your question. Actually, we were talking about cost-effective technology when we are talking about the blue deal. So I don't think that this needs this huge private sector participation, but in general, if we start talking about having it, scaling it up to a huge level that could cover the whole rural areas of in Palestine. Actually, in the Palestinian Water Authority, we are now working on a policy and strategy for the private sector participation based on the strategy that have been developed by the central government, the cabinet. And now we will have a clear private sector participation strategy developed by BWA, and it will allow actually private sector to participate on not only this project, but also other different projects in Palestine. Okay, you know that private sector always focusing on return on investment, high risk there. We know the level of risk there, and the role of the government. How can the government secure such type of risks for the private sector to enter? But in general, we are working on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, the good news is that there were still 2 questions, but the bad news is that we really have to stop. It's lunch. I think everyone wants to have lunch and also time for networking. So I would like to propose that the 2 questions that were somewhere there, that if you please can just go right through the persons who are still there back around the table, and well, do it together. So thank you very much. A big applause for all the panel members and yourself, well, co-chair, and wish you a nice lunch and final day. All the best. Thank you.